Hola, ¿qué tal? Bienvenidos a una nueva emisión de Masters Radio. Soy Guillermo Fournier. Estamos transmitiendo desde las instalaciones del Hotel Victoria. Este es un nuevo programa en el cual, como todas las emisiones, nos acompañan dos integrantes de la Asociación Civil MastersYucatán. Contamos con la presencia de Pedro Gil. Pedro.
¿Qué tal? Buenas noches.
Muy bien, también nos acompaña nuestra compañera Rebeca Jairala. Rebeca.
Hola, muchísimas gracias por tenerme aquí.
Y hoy contamos con la presencia de un invitado especial de lujo. Nos acompaña el Embajador del Líbano en México, Su Excelencia, el Embajador Sami Nmeir, por lo cual esta entrevista la llevaremos a cabo en el idioma inglés. Sin embargo, agradecemos a toda la audiencia que nos sintoniza y les comentamos que podrán seguir los subtítulos en español en la parte inferior de la pantalla. Muy bien. Pedro, te cedemos el uso de la voz, por favor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. Thank you for being with us. For us, it's such an honor to learn more about international relationships and diplomacy. Thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting me for this show. Thank you.
Mr. Ambassador, to begin with, please tell us about your career as a diplomat around the world with different charges.
Actually, after I finished my degree in law, it was 1993, I joined the Foreign Service in 1996. 1996 until 1999, I started my diplomatic career like a junior diplomat, and a period of experience at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. In 1999, I've been appointed Chargé d'Affaires in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. Then in 2000, I have been appointed as First Secretary in our embassy in the United Kingdom in London for 4 years, till 2004. 2004, 2006, 3 years, First Secretary at the Embassy of Lebanon in Italy. Then I came back to Lebanon. I've been appointed the Deputy Chief of Protocol in charge of privileges and immunities. Then 2009, I've been appointed Consular at the Embassy of Lebanon to the Holy See, Vatican, for 4 years. Then 2012, 2017, as Consul General of Lebanon in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. And then I've been promoted to ambassador and appointed ambassador of Lebanon to Mexico and all Central America. So it has been 1 year and a half that I'm ambassador here in Mexico.
Interesting, very long career in a very young age.
Yeah, and also talking about this, all the ways that you've been through, and how would you describe all this long-term relationship between Lebanon and Mexico?
Actually, the relationship between Lebanon and Mexico, it's a long history. So it started between our first immigrant that came to Mexico. It was 140 years ago. So the last the end of 19th century. So our relation is now 140 years ago. But for the official relation or diplomatic relation, it started in 1947, 28th of February, and since 1947 we have this diplomatic relation with Mexico. For sure, it's based on very important thing. This is the friendship between both countries, but the most important is the friendship between both people. It's a relation of mutual understanding, mutual respect, friendship, as we share same values and sometimes we share same aspirations.
Mr. Ambassador, one question. Many Mexicans here with Lebanese roots are very successful entrepreneurs and businessmen. But what do you think are the main principles of business and hard working according to the Lebanese culture?
Actually, I believe that maybe it's in our DNA. We have to admit that we are the descendant of the Phoenicians.
That's true.
And we have this entrepreneurial spirit in our DNA. For sure, ambition is a very important thing that Lebanese have. We invest a lot in the human being in Lebanon, as we are a country without natural resources. So it's a must to invest in the human being. For that reason, each family in Lebanon send their children as they can afford to the best schools, to the best universities. We focus a lot on learning languages. One of the most important thing I think as well is with the ambition and after the success, we share with others. We contribute to the well-being of the others and the prosperity of the societies where we are as Lebanese. And yes, not because I am ambassador of Lebanon, and I'm very proud to be. We have a big successful persons all around the world, in Mexico for sure, but you can find a very successful Lebanese people all around the world. Latin America, North America, Europe, Australia, Africa, everywhere.
Right.
And this is something maybe unique.
Yes, unique and also really important and good to say.
And to be proud for.
For sure.
Yeah, and talking about these relationships, we would really like to know as well more about this recent establishment of Mexico-Lebanon Friendship Group. What would you think about this?
You mean
a few days ago?
Yes, at the Mexican Parliament. Actually, it's a tradition to have in each parliament everywhere like a friendship group. We have in Lebanon a Lebanon-Mexican friendship group in our Lebanese parliament, and now maybe 1 month and a half ago, the Mexican parliament there were an election, and we have now Mexican-Lebanese friendship group. It's a kind of tradition, and it's a kind of parliamentary diplomacy, which is very important, and it helps a lot in promoting and helping the mutual interest of both countries within the legislative power of the countries. So with this group, we will have to discuss and to pass some treaties between Lebanon and Mexico, and they will be like let's say a lobby to promote and to help us in promoting those kind of treaties or agreement, bilateral treaties or agreement.
Yes, yeah, that's correct. Thank you.
Talking more about your work as an ambassador and to many young people who are watching us right now, and they want to know about how is a normal day for you as an ambassador of Lebanon in Mexico?
As ambassador of Lebanon, I have many tasks. First of all, I have to take care of the interests of Lebanon here in Mexico. I have to take care of the interests of Lebanese persons and to serve them. It's about take care of bilateral issues, about take care of our community, which is a big community, active and very present in the Mexican society. A normal day, usually the mornings at the office for the daily work. I have to run maybe a small embassy, but with a lot of work to do. Then we have some of being in a diplomatic life, we have to be part of cultural events, of political events, sometimes protocol events as national days of other countries. This is maybe the social part of my work, and to follow up our interests and our project within and with the Mexican administration, especially with the Mexican Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the other authorities as well.
Sounds like a lot of work.
A lot of work. One of the most important thing of the diplomatic life is there is no routine. Every day you have something new, different thing to do, different people to see, to deal with, different issues to deal with. And every 3-4 years you have to change place to another country and to start again. So it's one of the nicest qualities of diplomatic life, but in the same time the problem is the instability, because it might affect the personal life, the family,
Family,
and
of course.
Yes. Mr. Ambassador, what is the process that a Mexican with Lebanese origins should take in order to achieve the Lebanon nationality?
Nice question. And thank you for asking that, because it's one of my main targets here in Mexico as Lebanese ambassador and as Lebanese embassy is to promote, to regain back the Lebanese nationality. Actually, it's like a trend in the world to go back to the roots, not only in Lebanon, everywhere, all countries. In Lebanon, we have two process. First of all, we have the people who are descendant from persons registered in the census of 1932, which is a normal procedure. You can present actas de nacimiento, birth certificate and marriage certificate, but the most of the big number of the Mexican Lebanese here in Mexico are descended from persons who left Lebanon before the census. In this case, they have to give us some information about their grandfather or great-grandfather, because now we have maybe 4 generations.
It's a special
Mexico.
process, and there are many people in that situation, right?
It's a special process, but it's a very easy procedure. It's gratis, no charges, and they can get back their Lebanese nationality within 6 to 8 months. So please, any Mexican for Lebanese origin interested on reclaim back or gaining back their Lebanese nationality, I ask them to contact the Lebanese embassy in Mexico or our honorary consulate in Mérida, Guadalajara, Monterrey, and soon, hopefully, in Veracruz.
Good to know, because there are many people in Yucatan with Lebanese origins, and I'm sure they would like to know this.
Yes, it's a very easy procedure, and it's gratis. And I would like to mention that Lebanon needs his citizen or his sons to come back to Lebanon, and in order to keep our identity, in order to keep our roots, and to keep the mission and role of Lebanon
And this
in the world.
union as well, of course.
Mr. Ambassador, one question. Many people know the big impact that Lebanon have in Mexico. For example, in the business, in the food, in TV stars, Salma Hayek.
Of course.
But my question is, has Mexico impact or have the same influence in Lebanon as is here in Mexico?
Yes and no. Maybe the impact of Lebanese in the Mexican life is bigger, but as we have thousands and tens of thousands of Lebanese with Mexican citizenship, for sure there is an impact, cultural impact in our life in Lebanon. First of all, the music. Second thing, the food. You can find very nice Mexican restaurants. Sometimes not really Mexican, but they are. Tequila now is very important, and maybe 20-25 years ago, the Mexican series were very popular in Lebanon with Lebanese or Arabic subtitles. So yes, there is. And for sure, I have to mention here that with the effort of the Mexican embassy in Beirut, especially lately, because lately maybe I noticed that because I'm ambassador here, the embassy, the Mexican embassy in Beirut is doing a big and important effort in promoting Mexico and in promoting Mexican culture through Cervantes Institute or others.
And we should mention that each year many Mexican Lebanese people visit
Of course.
the territory of Lebanon.
Yes, it's as individual or as group with the honorary consulate, with the Lebanese clubs in Mexico. We have 7. So every year we have, and now we are promoting more and more. And we have signed an agreement between Lebanon and Mexico on the transportation services and like co-sharing agreement between Aeromexico and the Lebanese national carrier in order to facilitate the movement to and from Lebanon.
Yeah, of course, and also facilitating the union, because this will make us make it easier to us to be closer somehow. So, Mr. Ambassador, we know that there have been some recent fires and things happening in Lebanon. So, tell us a little bit more about the projects that these Mexican Lebanese people and leaders in Lebanon are doing. What would you tell us about these projects about reforestation and these other topics happening right now in Lebanon of all these leaders that we have?
Actually, some of, yes, you mentioned maybe the last, unfortunately, fire that occurred in Lebanon beginning of October.
Yes.
It was a big disaster. But one of our most maybe important Mexican Lebanese person, Don Alfredo Harb Hello, he took in charge a very important project for the reforestation of the cedars in Lebanon. And he is sponsoring a project in the north of Lebanon in order to plant for 40,000 new cedar. Now the first phase one is done. It's a very successful project, and I knew that Don Alfredo is now committed to take care of the second phase for another 40,000 cedar in the north. So this is a part of the environment issue. Don Carlos Slim, under the Slim Foundation, they built maybe 6 or 7 sport center or cultural center in several cities or villages. It's like a small contribution from Mexican for Lebanese origin to the land of their grandfather and fathers. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank them for those activities and initiatives.
As you said, a very important characteristic of the Lebanese people is their generosity and to help other people. So yeah, thank you very much to all the people in Lebanon and here in Mexico who help their country. Okay.
Mr. Ambassador, how is the cooperation between the Mexican government and the Lebanese embassy?
Actually, we are in a very good terms, and we are cooperating very closely. First of all, we believe as Lebanese government and as Mexican government in same values maybe, and we share some of main principles. We support the international law, and we support the self-determination of people. We are struggled for peace and security. We both countries, we don't interfere in domestic or internal conflict of and we support, of course, the legal equality of states. So on this regard, we are on the same let's say level of thinking, and we have a very good cooperation between our embassy and the Mexican authorities, especially with and through the Secretaría de Relaciones Exteriores, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where we have a lot of friends, and we find always all the support and all the assistance we need.
Very important.
Mr. Ambassador, it's very common in the interior of Mexico, in some provinces, to find honorary consulates. Would you please explain to us and to all the people who are watching this program what's the main role of these honorary consulates?
Actually, we are so many Lebanese in Mexico, and Mexico, as you know, is a very big country. We are talking about 2 million kilometers square. We are, this is not my figures, it is a Mexican official figures. Maybe we are 0.63% of the Mexican population. So we are talking about 800,000 people for Lebanese origin, but for sure less Lebanese citizen. So in order to serve this huge community spread in the whole country, we have to have another delegation or another persons, yes, in order to help us. For that reason, we have honorary consulate in more than a city. The oldest is in Guadalajara. 1 year ago, we opened one in Merida. We opened one in Monterrey a few months ago. Sorry. And hopefully very soon we will open a honorary consulate in Veracruz and Tijuana as well. So those honorary consulates are run by honorary consuls who are not civil servants like me, but people who are willing to serve their community without any charge, and they have some power to do some formalities on behalf of the embassy, where they represent Lebanon.
Mr. Ambassador, we would like to know what are the main priorities that this relationship between Mexico and Lebanese are on the way, like incoming priorities that we have at the moment between these two great relationship done countries. What would you say?
Actually, as I said before, we do have excellent relation between Mexico and Lebanon, but still we have to improve this relation. It's excellent on political level. It's excellent on level of both people and the communities, but we have a problem concerning the trade between the two countries. The balance of trade is not, there is a big deficit in favor of Mexico. And now we are trying to improve our Lebanese export to Mexico, as we have a big Lebanese presence here. We will not compete with Mexican products because we cannot compare Mexico to Lebanon size-wise and economy size-wise, but we do produce products that are a need for Lebanese community here, like the foodstuff, like the agro industry, wine, arak, something like that, and in the same time to improve the Mexican export to Lebanon. I always say that Lebanon should not be seen as a small market. Maybe it's a small market, but Lebanon is a platform for other markets in the region and in Africa. So I would like to take this opportunity to ask for Mexican to take advantage of the position of Lebanon and to take advantage of the presence, important presence of the Lebanese community in our region and in Africa, in order to promote even Mexican export to Lebanon and through Lebanon.
Mr. Ambassador, would you share with us any special anecdote from all these years as a diplomat, please?
Anecdote.
Any? Your favorite?
My favorite. Nothing in my mind.
Could be something funny, something you learned from.
For example, from all the countries you have worked, the difference to talk with someone from the United Kingdom, in Mexico, do you feel the atmosphere different? I mean, do you think Mexicans are more friendly, or all the world is friendly?
Actually, yes, for sure. Mexicans are a very friendly people, but maybe now, as when you mentioned the United Kingdom, I've been diplomat in the United Kingdom, and you know the discipline over there. Yes. And then I knew that I have to go back to Lebanon to serve 2 years. So in my mind, I thought maybe I need, if I go directly from London to Beirut, I will have maybe a cultural shock. So I need like a period or place in order to like a transitory area. So I've been appointed in Italy. In Italy, I am in Europe, but I am in a Mediterranean country with less discipline, more fun. So it was very important to me to pass by Italy before I go to Lebanon in order to take it. Yes.
It was a good scale.
Step by step.
Thank you for sharing, Mr. Ambassador. As an organization, a social organization that promotes leadership, we know that motivation is very important. What advice would you share with young future diplomats that are watching this program?
Nice question. Actually, diplomacy is changing. The world is changing, and diplomacy is changing. The diplomacy that was before I've been diplomat is different that the diplomacy now, and it's different that with the diplomacy, the coming diplomacy. I think that young diplomats have to focus on economical issues. I think that young diplomats have to focus on human rights issues and environment issues. Those are maybe the most important topics or subject to deal with in the future, while we used to deal with political and we used to they have to predict the situation before it happens, because now we don't have the task to tell our country what's happening here in Mexico, because they will know in Beirut through social media or CNN before maybe we knew about we have to predict things, and we have to focus on economy, we have to focus on human rights, we have to focus on environment, because it's really, I think, the new trend of the diplomacy in the future.
Thank you. A very good advice. Thank you
Very
very much.
inspiring.
Yes.
Thank you for the
Definitely.
message.
Thank you.
Bueno, de esta manera hemos llegado al final de la serie de preguntas. Muchas gracias a la audiencia por sintonizarnos, y ahora pasaremos a la sección que le da color y calor a este programa, De cara a la verdad, con el presidente de la Asociación Civil MastersYucatán, maestro Jordi Abraham Martínez.
Mr. Ambassador, this is face-to-face. One word, one answer. Ready?
Ready.
Legacy.
Proud.
Peace.
Daily effort.
Migration.
Need.
Carlos Slim.
Example to follow.
Culture.
Culture. Mental human effort, or yes.
Friendship.
Friendship. It's a privilege.
Dreams.
Hope that become true.
Pride.
Pride. Pride. It's a must.
Dignity.
Dignity. Something to fight for.
History.
History. We have to make it and to learn from it.
Mexico.
Great nation.
Central America.
countries where I am accredited.
Hope.
Hope,
Hope.
Jesus Christ,
Wisdom.
wisdom, combination of experience and knowledge.
Yucatán.
Mérida, Chichen Itza,
Cedar.
Cedar, heart of Lebanon.
Thank you very much,
My
Mr.
pleasure.
Ambassador.
Thank you, Jordi. Thank you.